In this video, let's talk today about most of the common problems faced by most of the English learners as well as the speakers while speaking the language of English. The first step towards health is knowing the origin of sickness. Similarly, to know a kind of problem we are facing in the language of speech we exhibit, we need to know the origin of the problem or the issues where we are committing them to actually address them smartly and work on it so that working on the weak areas can make us strong at the speech of English. So let's not waste much more time in gossiping all this, but move on to the problems that we are facing while speaking the language of English. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is the video after many days I am addressing to you people with much interesting topic that you are going to learn now is that most of the common problems that we learners commit while speaking in the language of English. See, no one is perfect at this. So all the people are with a lot of imperfections with them. So to solve them, we need to work on the weak areas that we are in. So the first step to actually rectify our health or to be healthy is that knowing the origin of sickness. So here the origin of sickness while learning the language of English is that the common problems or the issues which we are facing while speaking the language of English. Yes, when we talk about this kind of problems, you are not alone in this journey. You, along with me, along with each and every people around you, facing the similar kind of problems or addressing the similar kind of problems while speaking with the language of English. So let's know in this video what are such common or similar problems we do actually face while knowing or learning this kind of language. See, well, when we need to learn the language of English smartly, the first kind of thing is that most of the people used to say that you need to go or refer to most of the newspapers. You need to have a great reference towards the essays or kind of books or a kind of novels you are going to, or you need to rectify some of the grammatical mistakes you are committing while writing or reading in English. So this is not a fact of saying. To learn English, to learn the speech, to learn the spoken English, you need to actually concentrate yourselves to the prior way of speaking in English. Unless and until you speak the language of English, you are not going to understand the kind of weak areas you are in, the kind of areas you are strong at even. When you know, you can have a balance of the weak areas and the stronger areas. So let's not get hesitated while we speak. So let's move and push ourselves to have a great speech in front of the others. So most of the people have the first and common similar problem is that we are not getting such kind of environment or surroundings around us or such kind of people around us that we are going to speak in English. See, most of the people all around us used to speak in their own basic mother tongue. This is the common weakest area most of the people similarly face. So this kind of problem need to be eliminated by searching those kind of people who are actually interested in this speaking of English. You need to avoid such kind of environment. Even though you are in the environment of speaking your own mother tongue, you need to develop a kind of fact that you need to cultivate such kind of group of people who are actually interested in speaking such kind of language of English, so that you can push yourself or you can encourage yourself to speak the kind of language. So each and every home is with this kind of stuff of problem that they are speaking their own mother tongue. Then how can we concentrate on the language of English? There is no one to speak, there is no one to communicate. Then cultivate your surroundings with such kind of people who are actually showing or paving their interest towards this kind of speech therapy or speech lessons. Okay, the most commonly face second problem is that words don't pop up to your mind. When you speak to into the language of English, you don't get certain words, like you need to fumble, or you need to search the kind of words that what to speak, what not to speak, or what kind of problems you need to speak to actually address yourself. So such kind of problems you need to concentrate. So words, you need to work on it. Take a dictionary and also find such kind of complicated words and the simple words. Take a piece of paper, write them, and know the meaning of the words which are very complicated, and work on it. If you can easily pronounce it, if you know the meaning of it, then only speak it. No need to speak it blindly in order to impress other people through your speech. So this is the second kind of problem, that words don't come to your mind. Third most important problem is that in order to impress the people around you or the public, you will speak whatever you want. You will not stick to the point to which you are in. Suppose you are concentrating on certain kind of problem, then work on it. Have a logical thinking on it. Think creatively that what can be delivered on it. Take a list of points which are in favor of it, which are in against of it, and also work on the areas which you are weak at, and also develop a kind of sentences, create that sentences in favor of with you, so that you can speak it well. You are well acknowledged with the meaning of the words. So you speak only those words which you are in touch with, or you are in touch with newly but thoroughly with a logical thinking. So don't go with such kind of words which you don't know and you provoke the other people to know it. So do not work on such areas or speak to that language only to impress other people. So you need not have to create any kind of impression. You need to only just solve the problem of speaking English. So speak at its best level. Speak it well. Speak it to the very good level. But don't focus on the fact of impressing others. You are engrossed to learn such kind of language which you only have doesn't have any kind of language. So don't pull yourselves in such kind of languages. You need not have to engross yourselves in such kind of languages. You need to work on the areas. You need to work on the weak areas. You need to have a logical thinking. You need to have a creativity in your mind. But you need not have to impress others. In order to impress others, you are keeping your communication levels, grammar, your accent, and all kind of mistakes you're committing, and all kind of skills you are having, you are giving it a backseat. So do not. Also, you need to focus on such kind of areas which you actually are weak at. Third most common problem is that actually most of the people used to speak in English, but actually they need to think in their own mother tongue. Then they have to create in the language of English. Then they need to utter in front of the audience. So this is a very critical kind of problem, right? So work on the areas. Take a single topic, work on it, speak on it. As much as you speak, you will know the problems to a much greater extent. So there is a common saying, right? Like when we are asked to go to any kind of professional or psychologist, they actually ask you or address you people the problem you are facing with. Like the problem you are facing with, unless and until they are going to acknowledge the problem that you are facing with, they could not able to solve the problem. In the matter of fact, they actually ask your problem to acknowledge the problem as well as make the problem familiar with themselves also. Are they facing the same problem that you are facing also? They are giving a great comparison of the problems that they are facing and you are facing along. And in mutual comparison of the problem, they are going to acknowledge the fact about in which areas you are weak in, what areas you are facing problems. So unless and until you are going to share your problems, share your weaknesses with the others, focus on the facts or the weak areas, you are not able to grow in the language of English. So most of the people actually face hesitation. Even me hesitate a lot while speaking in the language, whether to speak or whether to not to speak. Once they start speaking, they start speak very well. But the fact of saying is that once they stop to speak for a long time, or when they stop thinking for a long time, they just fumble about what to speak, what not to speak. They actually hesitate a lot. So avoid this kind of hesitation. It's okay. You make mistakes. Unless and until you make mistakes, then how can you learn this? So make mistakes, then only you can learn it, right? When you speak, there are both kind of areas. One is weak area, one is strong area. Unless and until you are committing the weak areas, how can you improvise it to the stronger extent? That is my fact of saying. So hesitation, lack of confidence, lack of the words that which come to our mind. Actually, the fact of saying is that you lack the confidence while you speak in front of the public. That who will listen to my speech, whether I'm looking good or whether I'm sounding good or not, or is there any flaws while I'm speaking. This kind of fact of saying is hindering our speech to a greater extent. So this hindrance need to be avoided to a greater extent to improve our speech. Yes, people, to improve our kind of speech, we need to concentrate on the fact of saying that we need to speak first. The prior thing you need to do is that speak as much as you can. Unless and until you speak, you cannot able to develop your communication skills. See, most of the people are good at writing, but they are worse at speaking. Why? Because they lack speaking, because of the environment they are grown up with, or the kind of hesitation they face, or the kind of words which don't come to their mind while they speak in front of the public, or they fear a lot, or they think that they are new to the public, they cannot face the public with the kind of figure they have, and also they have the hesitation about how they look, what they appear, and what extent, what kind of flaws they are committing with. So these all kind of areas are similar problems which most of the people actually face. And most of the common problem, or the funniest thing is that even you, me, and everyone face that kind of problem, is that we actually try to find such kind of people which are equal, who are equal to us in speaking level. Someone, for example, speak more fluently or more perfectly than we do, then we try to avoid them, because a fear that because of the fear which kills us. Like, we are facing a kind of fear or lack of confidence that when we speak in front of such person who is good at speaking, then they can find the flaws in the conversation we are making with them, or the speech we are delivering to them, or they might laugh, they might find such kind of mistakes, or they might criticize us. No, it's not a matter of thing. When they criticize us, then only this is a kind of failure and a stepping stone to success. So when you face such kind of criticism and problems while speaking the language of English, then only you can develop to a greater extent. Unless and until you speak or initiate your prior pathway towards the learning of English, how can you develop in the language of English is my point of question to you people. So in this video exclusively I am talking about such kind of points which actually proved as an hindrance to most of the people while speaking in the language of English. When you speak a lot, then only you can find the kind of grammatical mistakes, that what kind of tenses you are making wrong at, or what kind of sentences you are doing wrong at, what kind of construction of sentences you need to do it, how to pronounce the sentences, what kind of areas to focus on to develop the kind of fluency in the speech or the creativeness in the speech. So first you need to develop a kind of logical thinking on a kind of topic you are going to deliver a speech in. You need to be good, you need to have a very good idea about what kind of topic you are going to speak. Without having any kind of rough idea, you cannot speak any kind of thing that you want. So speaking whatever you want will leave the public blindly and blankly. So you need to speak such kind of language, such kind of topic which you are good at. or which you have a good knowledge at. Second, you need not have to panic about the words which come to your mind. Whatever words you are freed, whatever words you are working to a greatest level, that only you speak. Speak or initiate your speech with the simple words. It automatically goes with the complex words. So don't, third thing is that you avoid such kind of complex words which you do not know the meaning about, or which you cannot solve the problem at least. Fourth thing, avoid hesitation that what other people think about you. So don't think about the other people's perception. It's their thoughts, it's their feelings. It should not bother you at any kind of. You need to have or develop your kind of confidence within yourselves. The confidence which will boost your speaking as well. So develop such kind of confidence. When you are well determined and well confident, then only you can able to address the public. No one is going to push you or pull you. It's you. You have to pull yourselves. Pull your weak areas and throw, so that you can develop the strongness or the strength in the speaking of English. So, creation is a way which you can focus on to develop a kind of good speaking ability. When you create words, when you create such kind of topics within yourselves, when you kind of speak, when you try to develop a kind of speech on a kind of topic, then focus on the topic, focus on the ideas you have, focus on the logical thinking, or think creatively. Think on the fact that what different I can speak in spite of other speech. So this is the thing you have to work on. So you need not have to focus on the fact of saying that what words I need to speak, what words will make me criticized. No, guys. Let the way to be done. Let the words come in the flow, which no matter whatever the words you speak, other people might criticize you, other people might hinder your speech, but don't pay attention to such kind of words. You need to develop your kind of special speech, special confidence within your speech, so that your confidence should reflect in the speech you are speaking in front of the public. So this will make a mark in everyone's mind. The confidence only makes you speak confidently in front of others. When you are well determined and confident within yourself, then only you can able to speak very, very, very well in front of the public. Not learning English blindly, not learning the grammar, not learning the English by reading the newspapers, reading the novels can perfect. So perfection only depends on the fact that how you speak in front of the others, how you develop your speaking ability or the speech therapy. So you speak well, you speak to a greater extent, such that you can know your weak areas and strong areas. Which areas you have weakened to develop it to a stronger extent. So this video is all about the communication skills and the problems which most of the people are facing. So how to develop them and how to rectify such kind of problems. So these problems and the solutions are followed to the next videos. So this video is all about the problems which most of the young learners are facing while speaking. This is all about today's video, and stay tuned to the channel, and I hope you will subscribe to the channel and also give your valuable comments, so that I will know that what kind of topics you are expecting from me. So that let's not much more time and go to the next topics in the next videos. So that's it for today. Thank you.